Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the very first TIMBP Live here in the new studio space, also known as my garage. Yes, I am still kind of working on the lighting out here, of course. Um, Working on a few different things, getting it all set up. I am somewhat comfortable in this position. We'll see if that changes throughout the evening. But otherwise, I'm happy to be back doing live. Last week, I unfortunately missed because we were setting up the baby room, also known as the nursery, to the layman, and I was very tired after we got done. I had a lot of paint on me. I was worn out. I'd moved far too many boxes in that time, and so I needed sleep. I needed sleep. So before we get into it, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to those who are watching on the replay. If you have not yet already, please hit the subscribe button, like the bell notifications so you know when I go live, and also when new episodes drop. In lieu of super chats, which are not available through YouTube just yet, you can do that at any of these links below. Everything is in the description of the video as well. PayPal, Venmo, or Square. Appreciate everybody who does that. I'll give you a little shout out on the show if you do indeed shoot a super chat my way. Clifton knows the struggle of moving. We're all going to go watch Clifton's stream after we're done here, by the way. I saw Donnie forgot that the studio had moved. Hello, Matt from ADHD Whiskey, live from the brand new Pear Lair. That is indeed where I am as of tonight. Swan wanted me to tell a scary story. It was a dark and stormy night, and all the bourbon was gone. It's pretty scary. Scary stuff. You don't want to mess on a dark and stormy night with bourbon being missing. So tonight is going to be Elijah Craig store pick night, or private barrel pick night. The reason for that is because in the process of moving, I discovered that I had a lot more Elijah Craig picks than I originally thought I did. I thought maybe I had 3 or 4, and I found out that I have about 8. So one of them was a duplicate. So I did mingle that bottle. So yeah, in that case, maybe it was more like 7. Still though, I had a lot more than I thought I did. So I'm gonna get into that. Couple of things up top as well. If you've not yet listened to this week's episode, it is available for your listening pleasure. Patreon also got today the first edition of The Last Call, which is going to be our wrap-up, basically, for the main episodes for the week, in addition to the pregame chats, which come out every Tuesday. And then tomorrow, there is going to be an ISO session, the first ISO session in a while. It's going to be with Haley from Wilderness Trail. It's a really fun conversation. Always love getting to chat with Haley. She's one of my favorite people. And I think you guys are going to enjoy hearing that as well. So definitely tune in for that. I am getting warmed up at the moment with some Heaven Hill 6-year 90 proof. The old trusty green label. I figured it would be a great way to get my palate educated, adjusted. Either way, doesn't matter. To the Heaven Hill line. Especially with all the Elijah Craig that I'll be drinking here soon. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. Let me know in the chat as well what it is that you guys are drinking on. I'm very curious to know. I feel like it's been kind of a long week for a lot of us. This week's not been that bad for me. Not been too bad for me. Perry Poor from Eric Smith. Hello, Eric. Good to see you. Clifton asks, did I see that Fred picked that in his blind flight? No, I didn't, but that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Steven, hello, Steven. He said, hey, Perry, this is bringing back some old live stream vibes with the new studio. It's, the more things change, the more they stay the same. So, Donnie, he asked, have you heard of Three Boys Farm Distillery? I have not. Oh, wait, no, yes, I have. I had somebody on a tour once who was just raving about Three Boys, and I'd never been. I still have not been before, and I'm curious about what they do. I'd like to try some of their products sometime. Todd Cooper is here. Hello, Todd Cooper. Good to see you, buddy. Brian Bernicke as well. Hello, Brian. Clifton said he was doing best bourbon under $15 and won over Evan Williams, Bottle and Bond, Old Crow benchmark, etc. Honestly, not surprised by that. Looking at that lineup, I kind of figured that's where that was going. So, like I said, not surprised. Not surprised at all. So I'll also tell you guys what's coming up on next week's episode. I got the chance. I chatted about this a little bit on yesterday's episode. I got the chance to have a really good chat with Trip from Barrel Craft Spirits, Barrel Bourbon. He and Adam and Joe, not necessarily in that order, were kind enough to send me some samples of their private release whiskeys. So we drank through some of those. This is so first off, sorry, I apologize. The barrel bourbon that I got was batch 24. Let's see, 113.9 proof. Also from the private releases, I got the apricot brandy finished whiskey, the pear brandy finish, and also the Tale of Two Islands rum finish. Now, what's interesting about these three whiskeys is that all of them are basically about 18 years old. Not many 18-year-old products out there on the market that are also being finished in a secondary barrel. And I was really impressed with how these products came across. I made no bones about it to Trip either. So you guys kind of hear my genuine off the cuff reactions to what I was drinking. So that's coming out next Wednesday, in addition to everything else that we've got on the docket. So I saw something from Dawn that I wanted to touch on. Just picked up a 55-inch 4K TV, want to hook up a gaming console. What would you suggest? PlayStation 4, Xbox, wait for the PS5. I, of course, am a Nintendo guy. I'm a big fan of the Switch at the moment. The PS5 looks pretty great. As long as it's backwards compatible, that would be my recommendation. But, yeah. Clifton just poured his Elijah Craig pick to drink along. Very nice. Donnie said, my local bourbon group had a transplant from Louisville join us recently, and he raves about Three Boys. They thieve from the barrels for samples and bottles. Interesting. Very interesting. Todd Cooper's having some B519 Elijah Craig barrel proof tonight. Very nice indeed. Steven said, question, I've seen the barrel whiskeys coming out. What exactly are those? So they're it's funny because they're not really one thing or another. Tripp was talking about how they kind of had a battle with the TTB of over what to call products like Dovetail and even these private releases. So essentially what they are is what did he call it? A DSS, which under the TTB means Distilled Spirits Specialties. So what that means is that it's, say, a bourbon that's been finished in something else, or a whiskey that's been finished in something else. So in this case, it's one of the more truthful packaging that you're going to get out in bourbon land, which is really interesting. But they are usually Kentucky whiskeys. Some of them do wind up being Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana. He chatted about that as well. So I don't want to spoil too much about it, about the interview, about the conversation. So I'm going to leave the rest of that for next week. But I think you guys are really going to like the conversation. Tripp's a great guy. We hit it off immediately, and we had a really good time getting to talk about the products that Barrel has. So I feel like I have done enough rambling at the top of this episode, 10 minutes in, and I think that it's time to get into some Elijah Craig store picks. So I'm going to put the Heaven Hill 6-year off to the side, bottle as well. And let's begin. I'm going to start with this Unlimited Spirit 8-year pick, which is one of the more full Elijah Craig picks that I have. And I really have not had this in a while, so it's going to be kind of a surprise to me what this is going to turn out to be like. So you guys are kind of jumping in with me blind. You were wondering if they were kind of like Dovetail. They are kind of like Dovetail. I would say that's a pretty good approximation. So, Tony and Meredith Mercury, welcome in, you two. It's good to see you guys in here. Tony said, blind barrel proof flight with Meredith tonight. At least I think barrel proof. It's blind. Fair enough. And Meredith said, he's right. Also, Papa Ritter, Grandpapa Ritter is here. Hello, Terrence Scott, who is also killing his Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C919. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. I remember why I haven't had this in a while. It smells like nail polish. Nail polish and oak, which is not something that I prefer on any bourbon. I mean, I like the oak, of course, but the not a huge fan of that nail polish note. Oof. Yeah. It's a very young tasting Elijah Craig. Not one of my favorites. This doesn't even really taste like Heaven Hill. That is so bizarre. This was picked in the fall of 2018. Golly, I've had this bottle for a long time. Jeez, man. If I remember correctly, this was not necessarily flying off the shelves at the store at the time, which is unfortunate. Joseph Brazo. Hello, Joseph Brazo. Dad said no nail polish. No nail polish, indeed. I guess it's opening up a little bit, but it just is so predominantly ethanol, and I just don't care much for it. Good thing I still have like an ounce of it left, right? That's exactly what I wanted. It's 100% what I wanted from the first thing out of here. How old can Elijah Craig picks get? The oldest I have seen is 12 years. I've actually seen a 12-year-old pick before, but I think, if I remember correctly, and that's just what I've seen in person and owned, if I remember correctly, I might have seen a 13-year-old before. So, and Steven's seen 14-year ones. So that is true. It does go above It does go above 12 years. Very interesting. Donnie's drinking an Elijah Craig store pick from Doc's. It's an 11-year. Have a 14-year state of Mississippi pick as well. So there you go. There you go. Clifton said that reminds him of a larceny pick he's had before that he doesn't like. You know what? Honestly, I would be pressed to say that this would be more like a wheated bourbon than a rye. It's just missing the rye spice that is so common and dominant with Elijah Craig. This is I just don't care for this one, man. Oh, I hate to do this, but I'm gonna dump it into the infinity glass. Not off to a good start, unfortunately. So, pick number 1. I'm going to give that one a thumbs down, unfortunately. Second one, and I think that Brian just mentioned a pick from Swan's store in Frankfort, Kentucky. This is indeed a Kroger pick that says selected exclusively for you. I do remember this being from Kroger, though, so I don't think it's 12 years. I think it's younger. Let me get caught up in the chat. I apologize. Donnie said that his EC pick is the perfect warm-up, just right. Good deal for you, man. Todd Cooper's got a group question. Eagle Rare is still a 10-year, isn't it? Yes, it is. It is indeed. Terrence Scott says, next up is this Kroger pick. Danny's Candies. Hello, Danny. Said, hey, Perry, just joining. Are you doing just EC picks? I think he meant EC. Or some barrel proofs, too. We're going to see where the night takes us. Oh, you can see that in shot, can't you? Yeah, I'm gonna wind up getting to an Elijah Craig barrel proof before the end of the evening, which you can see back on the bar, sitting in front of the Blanton's lamp. Want to remind everybody too, if you have not yet hit the like button, please do so. Really helps us out. Subscribe too if you have not. Thank you for watching back on the replay too. And Super Chats are available at PayPal, Square, and Venmo. All of those handles and links are available down below. Let's go and check that out, if you don't mind. Mike Meyer, cheers all. Hello, Mike. Dad's not drinking anything right now. Sounds like you need to fix that. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. That Unlimited Spirit pick was just off. It was just an off pick. But this one's just right. Oh, that nose. Cinnamon, caramel, baking spices, fresh baked bread. Golly, that is... Little bit of orange peel, just a hint of it. And see, this is what I wanted. This is what I was hoping for. So, and at least on the nose. So once I get into the actual palate, we'll see. But the nose is definitely what I was kind of hoping to start things out with. And there we go. That is much better. Much, much better. I am quite the fan of this one. Swan, I don't know if you're still in here, but Tim did a great job picking this bottle, this barrel. Yeah, whatever. Todd follow-up said, that's what I thought. Had a blind tasting last night and a whiskey somm. Said it wasn't anymore. Wanted to make sure nothing's changed in the last month or two. I'm pretty sure it hasn't. Um, so, Don Nishida with the very first super chat. He says, housewarming in brackets, studio warming? Super chat, looking good there. Thank you, Don. Cheers to you, buddy. Appreciate it. And one from Brian Brennecke as well. So can't go wrong with an AC night. I agree. You guys are going to get me drunk. Which ain't the worst thing in the world. But still. Joseph grabbed 2 KC picks and 2 Russell's picks from Unlimited last year. Honestly, that's been the only bad pick that I've had from Unlimited. Everything else has really been quite good. They had I think it might have been a Russell's pick last year that I bought multiples of because of how much I loved it. I think it was Russell's. That sounds right. But they also have had just crazy old picks recently too. I'm pretty sure that towards the end of last year they had a couple of 15-year Knob Creek picks. So not bad at all. Terrence Scott said last 2 Eagle Store picks I've had were rye forward, thinking 2019 picks were to clear off profile barrels. Interesting. That was also, I mean, Elijah Craig. Well, excuse me, not Elijah Craig. Eagle Rare. Those picks were gone forever. So I can kind of understand that, Terrence. Andrew Buchanan, hello Andrew, is working on a Woodford Double Oak store pick. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Oh, man. See this, like, I hate to rag on picks that just don't fit my flavor profile, that don't fit my palate. And really the first Elijah Craig pick that I had just doesn't do it for me. And it might be for somebody else. It might be something that they are looking for, but it has nothing of what I'm interested in aside from that slight oak note that I was picking up. But it's nothing compared to this Kroger pick. So, 'tis what it is. Clifton said we got an endless stream of Eagle Rare picks for a while there late last year. We really did. I got an Eagle Rare pick for Adam Terry that he hasn't gotten yet. I think I picked it up for him at the beginning of the year. And, yeah. Joseph said I've almost killed that KC pick I got from Donnie. It's too good. Very nice. Speaking of Donnie, he asked, are you not able to try before you buy? Not at most of our stores. It's weird, but slightly understandable because all of these stores in Central Kentucky, at the very least, realize that they are going to be able to make the most money if they don't have a bottle open for customers to try before they purchase one. So it's tough. It's not like going to Elixir or some more smaller owned stores. The Kentucky stores see a big barrel pick and all they see is dollar signs. And so one lost bottle, one less bottle means one fewer wad of cash. So I got to give it to them in some regards because I understand that they need to make money off of it. But also, I just realized in the in the stream banner, I put the wrong date up. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Clifton can't do it in California. Wow. Terrence said, I'll say I'm a Rive fan, so not complaining, just an observation. Fair enough. Total Wine is the only place I see that around here. It is, yeah. And like a place like Liquor Barn will have on their tasting bar, when a tasting bar is open, of course it's not right now due to the pandemic, but when it is open, they will usually have a bottle of one of their picks that they can offer to people, but you still have to pay for a pour of it. So, you know, it makes sense again to a degree, but you have to. It's just not the same. It's just not the same here, unfortunately. Tennessee stores, Elixir in particular, gives samples. I almost don't buy store picks now if I can't try first. Tarek has sold me many things after letting me sample. The man is a legend. I will say that much. Clifton's living on Aussie time. Brian said our stores are really good about allowing tasting of their picks. Tarek does pour a lot of samples, Joseph. Dang, that was like a caramel syrup on the nose as I was taking that sip. That was freaking tastic. Danny said, I got a couple of Eagle Rare picks from 2 different places in Atlanta area last year. Opened one, and it was very good. That's awesome. Okay, so we're 1 for 2, which is not bad, but I'm hoping to pick it up after this one. Let's see. How old is this one? 11 years? Let's go with the BHG pick. Yeah, let's do that. Switch out glasses here as well. Papa Ritter's tapping out. See you, Dad. Love you, buddy. Danny wishes that laws in Georgia would allow sampling. I imagine that is not the most wonderful thing in the world to not be allowed to sample. But again, 'tis what it is. So this is one of my favorite Elijah Craig picks, period. Seriously. I have loved this since the day we met. It was an early fall day. I don't freaking remember. I'm not going to wax poetic about that. This is a pick from BHG, Bluegrass Hospitality Group. The wonderful, wonderful folks who own OBC Kitchen, Drake's, Malone's, Harry's, all those restaurants around here in Central Kentucky. And I think Drake's actually has a location in Tennessee, maybe Ohio now as well. I can't remember for sure. Regardless, though, they have a stellar team of folks who pick these single barrels. And I gotta say, I've been on a couple of their picks too. To get out of my DMs, though. Don't slide in there. Or do. I don't care. I can let you know things. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Through and through, what I just absolutely love about Elijah Craig. This reminds me so much of the very first bottle of Elijah Craig that I got. And that was the point when they had transitioned over to the non-age stated label before they had transitioned to the new bottle. So that was my big gateway into well, aside from well, okay, let me back up. That was my big gateway into Elijah Craig. That was my first kind of love affair with Elijah Craig. And once I found that, hit the ground running, man. Seriously, that was that was just one of the most incredible experiences finding out about that product. Elijah Craig never disappoints. I know. I mean, yeah, Clifton, I agree, but also I just had a bad pick of it. So Elijah Craig does equal bourbon. Brian, I am a firm believer in that through and through. I have kind of spent less and less time drinking it, unfortunately. I've had more Elijah Craig barrel proof, of course, than anything. But for what it's worth, I mean, it's just, if I want people to know what bourbon is, I want them to have Elijah Craig. I think that's just it. It's it, man. I don't know any other way to say it, honestly. Oh, that was a teeny tiny little cheers. I'll do another one. Made up for it with 2. Clifton said, YPMV, your pick may vary. Joseph wants to know if he's watching a TIMBP or a scene from Blair Witch. What's that final line from Blair Witch? I can't remember. Where's the snot coming out of Perry's nose? I'm on allergy medicine. So all the snot is very well controlled. So you don't have to worry about any of that. Todd, you also said you never had a bad Elijah. You need to try Chad's bad pick. We need Perry snot? Ugh. What's the matter? That's disgusting. I want Perry snot. I'm not going to... Ugh. Mm-mm. Don't make me play video games for you, Joseph. I know how much you like that. Oh, goodness gracious. Clifton said you think we both have to work on our lighting in our new setups. Dude, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, I could... Things would change dramatically with 2 switch flips. But honestly, I mean, what would happen here? That's marginally worse. Also, I want to point something out. All of these UK posters behind me, these are not mine. I did not hang these. I don't care that much about sports. It's not really my bag. These were all left over from the people who owned the house before us. And it's just, yeah. Didn't Chad get that nasty E.H. Taylor too? Maybe it's him. Maybe it is his. Or him. Yeah. It could be Chad. Who's to say? But he's also got great picks before too. Your window behind you blows everything out, even with the shades closed. Yeah. Todd said we'll see if he can get a sample. Yes. Maybe I'm holding a live seance. I do have 2 black cats on the floor. So not much better and slightly worse. Yeah. Just need a backlight on the wall. They did come with the house, man. It was so weird. Like, when we were looking at the house, we came out into the garage, and we were like, this is a really nice-looking garage. And you know, I posted a couple of pics on social media and showing the space. Somebody said, I can't believe you have tile in your garage. Well, yeah, it's not really tile, it's vinyl flooring. But even still, it's not like concrete or anything. And the people who owned the house before us used this space for entertaining. And I guess the husband was a big UK fan, and he hung up all these posters, but he wasn't a big enough fan to take all these posters with him. So I've never understood. And by the way, we've lived in this house for almost 2 years. That's the bad part. It's been 20-ish, almost 20 months. And it like, see me, I'm preparing for baby talk. I'm preparing for how to talk to people about how old your baby is, even though nobody cares how many months they are. Just say 1.5 years. Say 2 years. Nobody freaking cares if you say they're, 56 months. Who cares? Just tell them. Just tell them the truth. It's dumb. Stupid. Anyway, we've had this house for long enough that I should have taken them down by now, but I had never had a reason to until now. And maybe if I scoot, that kind of helps me out a little bit. I like that angle more. I like that I'm also figuring this out on stream. I think that angle's a little bit better, honestly. It's not so right up in my face, so that helps. You kind of love that they're there now. I don't know, like, I want to take them down and sell them. I really do. I take them down now and I get haunted. Fair enough. I'm taking some of them down. That, like, where the whiskey cabinet went, like, I had some that I had to take down. And even, you can't really see it right now, but there's a part of the wall that comes out. That's where I hung up my my Willet painting, and there were posters there as well. Clifton's 326 months old. They're months until they hit 2 years, Joseph. Fair enough. Terrence said my house is like 99 years old and have graffiti from the 40s. That's actually really cool. That is... I want to see that. I want to see some of that. Todd's lived in his house for 216 months. Carry the one. It's a lot of months. It's a lot of months. What is that? Almost like 20 years? That's ridiculous, man. That's cool, though. Good for you guys. See, now when I get sleepy in the middle of stream, as I've had too many bourbons, I can just put my head right here. I just take a nap. And I'm done. I'm going to go back to drink a bourbon. Oh. BHG, you've done it again. Seriously, this is a really, really good. 18 years? 18 years-ish. Yeah, I'm no good with math. So almost 20 years. I mean, I am okay with math. I don't know. Who's to say? Terrence's graffiti says, who watches The Watchmen? Joseph, I love you. Okay. I want to do this for these last two picks before things get too crazy. Brian's lived in his place 298 months. That is a lot of months. It's a lot of months. And Donnie is 658 months old. I don't know. Somebody do the math. I turn 27 next month. Oh, wait, Clifton, we're the same age, aren't we? So what did you say? $326 months? So maybe I'm close to 326 as well. Okay, so these last two picks that I have are actually both 11 months old. This first one is from the Woodland Wine Merchant out of Nashville, Tennessee. So this comes from Adam Terry, actually. This was one of the first Elijah Craig picks that I've ever owned, and it's actually still got quite a good. I'm not even showing it on camera. Quite a good amount left in there too. So, Donnie said I'm about 330 months old. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So, like I said, this first one is from Woodland Wine Merchant. This other one is from a little bit more local to me, Liquor Barn. It's also 11 years old. I also wanted to make sure nothing got knocked off. I was worried something was going to fall. So, Joseph is 413 months in dock years. Or 413, excuse me. Swans can't count. Yeah, I know you can't, Swan. Swan, I just had your this old Jim, the selected exclusively for you pick from Kroger from way back when. That was so delicious. I missed that. All of what did you say, Clifton? Sorry, my brain just started reading and then it went like, oh, look at that. Clifton said all my picks are from the same store. I feel like Elijah Craig picks getting ignored over Knob Creek picks or Eagle Rare picks. Excuse me. I buy that. I can totally buy that. I am happy Swan's back in the chat, by the way. Swan and I got to record in person on Monday, which was bonkers. That was a great feeling. And I'm excited for him to come back over next week too, because it's like we need more of that. We need it for sure. So anyway, I'm gonna get into these picks. This first one, of course, is the one that I received from Adam Terry. Ooh, smells like fresh baked dough from a pizza place. There is a savory note on there as well. Gosh, it's been a long time since I've had this pick. How old is this? I mean, I know it's 11 years, but I don't think that it has when it was picked. Yeah. Fair enough. Speaking of the latest podcast, interestingly, our Kroger doesn't do picks, but Meyer has had some really good picks. That is interesting. Really bizarre. Terrence, you need to catch up on the pods. You do need to catch up on the pods, man. There's some good stuff out there right now, and I know that people have kind of dropped off since COVID, but there's so much good stuff out there that folks need to get back into. So, yeah. Swan. I was shocked. I was terrified. I was like, there was my friend, and then all of a sudden, he's a bird. What happened? Coronavirus changed you. You're sure many pours were shared. Many were indeed. At one point, Swan just went over to the cabinet and picked out whatever he wanted. And that you can hear on the last call for episode 136, which came out today for Patreon. So go check that out. It's also like a s'mores note on here. Very predominantly. Oh, you know what that is? All right. This is the smell of going to Sunday school after Sundays. What is it? Like church care? Maybe it was at Sunday school. And they'd give you like apple juice and graham crackers. That's what that smells like. It smells like nostalgia. Joseph, did I not post the latest podcast? Yeah, I definitely did. Do you mean to YouTube? Did it not get shared on YouTube? Let me check on that real quick. If my computer would go a little bit quicker, that would be splendid. It didn't get shared. I'll take care of that. It looks like a few recent ones haven't been shared too. So I'll go back and I'll fix that. I'll take care of that. It doesn't take much work on my end. All I have to do is just create a little video and just export it and get it uploaded to YouTube. So I apologize for that. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff that didn't actually get posted as well or shared to YouTube. So I'll be sure to go back and correct some of those errors. It won't be this weekend. Maybe if I get some free time, either tomorrow at the beginning of the week, I will be sure to go back and do that. Gosh, that really upsets me. I don't understand. So tell me I don't have to go to Podbean. You might have to. You might have to take it up with the Podbean higher-ups. Mr. Pod and Mr. Bean. They're tough nuts to crack. Oh, that's so good, dude. Dang it. Why has it been so long since I've had this? Well, maybe it's because I was trying to save it. Also, Joseph, if you find some more contacts with the Podbean brothers, let me know, because I have some other questions for them. Sorry, I'm also drinking on a hazy little thing IPA from Sierra Nevada. Kind of my palate cleanser, I guess, along with my water. Todd loves Mr. Bean. He's a cool dude. I like him. All right, so this is the Liquor Barn 11-year pick. Doing me a little side by side. See, that is so similar on the nose. Hold on. There's no information on whether they were like sister barrels or anything, but I would love to find out more about this, because these smell extremely similar. Like, why does the podcast stop after 20 minutes? That's my bad. That's my fault. I didn't mean. Yeah. That was on my end, honestly. I don't know why that happened. I think it had something to do with my local storage on my computer or my external hard drive. It seems like I've gotten that figured out. I just have to export it to a different place. But luckily, all of that, yeah, that's not... that doesn't have to be worried about. Joseph, you can also listen on the Podbean app. There is a free app through Podbean that you can download, and there's also, like, I think we just got added to the TuneIn app, and I think we're going to be on Pandora here soon as well too. I have to go back and look, but there's multiple places to go and listen to it. I know that YouTube is one of the more convenient ones. I apologize for it not working out in this regard, but I'm gonna try to figure some of that nonsense out, and I'll have to get in contact with the Podbean brothers, see what's happening. Danny said, my recommendation for someone beginning to try better bourbons is always Elijah Craig. I 100% agree with that. I think it's the most, it's one of the most accessible ways to get to drink new stuff that is essentially going to get people over the hill. I don't think the Liquor Barn one has as much flavor to it. I think it falls a little bit short. Just send Joseph a CD with the podcast on it. I love that. I want to do like a private pressing of a USB tape, and do like some of the best episodes of the podcast, and include like some special bonus episodes on it as well for people. If that's something you would buy, let me know, because I'd really like to do something exclusive like that. And I mean, we could maybe make some kind of digital exclusive available too, but I really want to do something more. Just something more. So we'll leave it at that for now. Send it in a mixtape. But Joseph would rather have it on cassette. It's all you, brother. You do you, man. Clifton, you don't want to leave your bourbon or your bottle of Elijah Craig and move on to scotch. I wouldn't want to do that either. Although, the scotch that I had a few weeks ago, when was that? Like 3 or 4 weeks ago? That was still good. I still enjoyed that. I really did. I do like the thought of sending it on an 8-track, though. I think that's really funny. Make it more difficult for him to to be able to play it. That's so annoying. That's such a dumb minor inconvenience. Oh, it's more of a major inconvenience if you really want to listen to it. But like, why would you? That's so annoying. Maybe we'll do a we'll do a big best of on vinyl or something. I don't know. That would be pretty ridiculous. Go old school. Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and end off the stream here. Just to wrap it up. I'm not done yet. What am I talking about? So these two 11-year-old picks, they have really similar noses. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Burnt cedar. That is one of the more specific notes I have ever gotten on a nose with a pick of bourbon. At this point, just send him another dude named Perry to reenact what happened on this week's episode. I'll send him another dude named Perry and a live swan. And you're just feeding the swan whiskey, which would be catastrophic for sure. We would get PETA called on us, and I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. But that's, yeah. Just write the transcript by hand and mail it to me. I'll see what I can do about that, Joseph. Is the cedar toasted or full on charred? I would say full on charred. It smells more like it's been thrown into like a fire, like a bonfire. Bourbon works, y'all. Especially when you have multiples of the same consecutively. Yeah. Terrence said I get some really odd memory recall notes from bourbon. I do too. And I think that's what makes bourbon so accessible for me, and something I love so much, that it does have a nostalgia to it that I enjoy quite a lot. What I was getting at too before I started to tangentialize the conversation is that I fully believe that Woodland Wine Merchant, let me try that again. Woodland Wine Merchant did a better job of picking an 11-year barrel than Liquor Barn did. And I still love the Liquor Barn pick. There's just a little, how do you say, kind of a je ne sais quoi over the over the Liquor Barn one. It's just got something extra to it, man, and I like it quite a bit. I had to have a couple Perry pours before writing it. Fair enough. Get life-size cutouts of you guys with a digital recording. I would love that. That would absolutely crack me up. Oh my gosh. Terrence got roast marshmallow note for the first time tonight. Wow, that's awesome. I love the roasted marshmallow note on bourbons. That's a really fun note that I enjoy a lot. Fun note? That's strange. Burned up cigar box. Something like that. Hey, Lil, all the way from Brisbane, Australia. She is watching and driving. Be careful. Be safe. Or somebody's going to pull you over. Just be careful. Donnie used to get some very negative memory recall from bourbon. Bad experiences from high school. I didn't drink until later on in life, so I don't have those negative sensory. What is it? Whatever. I don't have those bad thoughts, bad memories. Alrighty, well, now we are going to go ahead and wrap up so we can hop on over to Clifton's live stream over at Bourbon Bites. Thank you all so much for being here this week. As always, thank you to Don and Brian for sending in the super chats, which, of course, are available at the handles, links below. Everything is in the video description, especially if you want to go and follow us on social media. I appreciate you guys as always. I will see you all next week for another TIMBP Live, which is what we've, I guess, been calling it. But until then, I'm Perry, and this is my Bourbon Podcast Live. See you guys.